Good morning to you all. Looking at the third meeting of the Commission that was set up to select the new head of the Bureau for Economic Security. My name is Laura Ștefan and I'm the chairperson of this Commission. Thank you very much for your interest and for being here with us today. As you know, as required by law, this meeting has been announced 24 hours ago. So we are in compliance with the legal provisions that are regulating our work. And we are now live on the website of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine. First of all, let me check the quorum for this meeting. I would ask my colleagues to confirm that they're present. I'll start with Oleg.
Присутній.
Present.
Donatas.
Present.
Tatiana.
Присутня. Present.
Yuri.
Присутній.
Present.
Jim.
Present.
And I'm present. I'm Laura Stefan. So we conclude that we have all the 6 members of our commission present at the meeting. So the meeting is officially opened with the required quorum in the legislation. I suggest that we first approve the agenda for this meeting. And I propose 2 items on the agenda. First of all, I propose that we approve the list of persons to be admitted to the competition for the head of the Bureau for Economic Security. So this would be first point on the agenda. And then the second point of the agenda, I propose to be the rejection of candidates that have not met the criteria for the selection set by the law on the position of the head of the Bureau for Economic Security. I would like to open up to you now and ask you if you have additional points that you would like to have included on the agenda.
None.
I don't see any points raised. So I suggest that we vote for the adoption of this agenda. If you are in agreement, please express your vote. I'll start with James.
I approve the agenda.
Oleg.
Я за.
I approve it.
Donatas.
I vote for. Yes.
Tatiana.
Я за. I vote
Yuri.
for.
Я також голосую за.
I also vote for it.
I also am in favor for the adoption of the agenda, so therefore the agenda is approved. The first point on the agenda is to approve the list of persons to be admitted at the competition for the head of the Bureau for Economic Security. And I would like to begin with a general overview of the conditions which the applicants have to meet in order to be admitted for the competition. First of all, of course, they would have needed to submit their application package within the deadline, which was January 24. Secondly, the application package has to be complete. It has to include all the documents required by the legislation and explained in the announcement for this competition that was published by the Commission. And last but not least, the applicants must comply with the substantive requirements of the law, which refer to eligibility criteria regarding age, education, work experience, and managerial experience, all of which can be found in the law on the Bureau for Economic Security. After the initial screening of application, as you know, the Selection Commission has decided to approach particular candidates to ask for additional documents or clarification, primarily concerning the condition regarding the professional experience requirement. I want to explain that when assessing the application packages, we applied the following rules. First of all, the work experience required by law was calculated only after the person has received the diploma required by the legislation, which is law or economics. So only after that deadline did we calculate the work experience, as we usually do for such processes. We also did not include the period of studying at the university within the concept of work experience, for the reasons explained above. And also, in terms of experience in the specialty, we only calculated those positions to qualify for experience in specialty if they required systematic development or application of legal norms when it comes to legal experience. The approach is based, of course, on the Ukrainian legislation and jurisprudence. And we also use the practice of similar bodies in Ukraine, but also at international level. The Selection Commission has carefully studied all the documents. We read them in detail, and we identified 30 application packages that did not raise any serious concerns. So in the view of the Commission, all those applicants clearly meet the eligibility requirements. I would like to pass the floor to our head of secretariat, to Victor, who will announce the list of the applicants where we did not find any potential irregularities. Victor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Laura. Дякую, пані Лаура.
Laura,
Отже,
thank you, Laura. So, I'm reading the respective list. Асланов Максим Сергійович, Борисенко Олег Володимирович, Буртовий Михайло Олексійович, Буздиган Павло Миколайович, Вітренко Віктор Юрійович, Гнатюк Роман Іванович, Гончар Богдан Сергійович, Горбов Олександр Вікторович, Гречана Тетяна Володимирівна, Деманцов Руслан Васильович, Джан Раджамі Мохамадович, Дубовик Віктор Вікторович, Калатур Максим Васильович, Ковче Атіла Ласлович, Маштабей Сергій Валентинович, Омаров Аміл Адзади Огли, Пахомов Руслан Володимирович, Перхун Сергій Олександрович, Плачков Дмитро Федорович, Полтарацький Микола Михайлович, Рачинський Руслан Михайлович, Ржимовський Владислав Миколаєвич, Слитников Олександр Анатолійович, Скомаров Олександр Вікторович, Татарінов Роман Володимирович, Фокін Сергій Олександрович, Фюдор Олена Станіславівна, Цивінський Олександр Ігорович, Шепедін Ігор Олегович, and Яременок Роман Олександрович.
Thank you very much, Victor. Dear colleagues, do you have any comments, any interventions with regard to the candidates that were just enumerated by Victor? Yes, Donatas, please, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Laura. So, no, and thank you, Secretariat. And of course, we did a great job studying all the documentation provided. And I don't have any other comments and would like to congratulate those candidates who passed the first stage. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Donatas, and obviously a big thank you to the Secretariat, to the translators who helped the Commission to perform such a thorough analysis of the applications. Thank you very much. And I would now suggest that we vote for the admission of the persons that were enumerated by Victor, unless there are other colleagues that would like to take the floor and say something with regard to the candidates that are on the clear admission list. I don't see any indication of people wanting to take the floor. Therefore, I suggest that we vote for the admission of the candidates enumerated. And I will start with James.
I support the list as presented.
Thank you. Oleg?
Я голосую за.
I vote for it.
Thank you. Donatas?
Yes, I vote for.
Thank you. Tatiana?
Я також підтримую.
I also vote for.
Thank you very much. Yuri?
Я голосую за.
I vote for it.
Thank you. And I vote in favor. Therefore, we have 6 votes in favor of the list of admitted candidates to the competition. And I would like to congratulate each and every one of those that made it on this list. The second point on the agenda is the rejection of the candidates for which we have seen irregularities in the application packages. I suggest the following working method for this point on the agenda. First, I will invite Victor to briefly announce the applicant name and the reasons for the suggested rejection. Then I will open up the floor to the members of the Commission to express their views on the matter and vote for each rejection individually. And I would like to underline the fact that all the rejected candidates will receive a detailed note of information regarding the reasons why they were rejected. And they will have the possibility to submit a complaint, an appeal to us, to the Commission, within the next 3 days. So the appeals have to reach the Commission by the end of Thursday, as it is provided in the rules for the current competition. We intend to analyze the appeals as soon as possible, and we plan to have a meeting, a public meeting on Monday to address the potential appeals that we will receive. So Monday the 10th, the Commission intends to meet to discuss the appeals. Of course, we will follow all the legal provisions and we will announce in due time this official meeting. If you agree with this suggested working method, I suggest that we pass the floor to Victor to start with the first candidate that needs to be discussed in terms of potential rejection of his or her application. Victor, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. First, I would like to just say that we have now an error alert in Ukraine, so I'm checking whether the threat would be serious, and I would immediately inform you. Перший кандидат, перший аплікант, перепрошую, це...
I'm sorry, the first candidate, that's Igor Igorovich Bochan, who has unfortunately failed to provide all necessary documents for participation in the competition.
Victor, I suggest that you go ahead and look for information about the raid that goes on now in Ukraine, and inform us if you need to depart from this meeting. We can start again later. When,
No. I mean, I'm checking it, so I have in front of my
Yes.
eyes what is the security situation. So should there be like launches, I would.
You'll let us know.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so dear colleagues, we have a first candidate where we have a suggestion to reject his application. I would like to invite the members of the Commission to take the floor if they would like to argue in favor or against this rejection. So we're talking about Mr. Igor Bochan. Where we don't have the required documents. Yes, Donatas.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. So I get acquainted with this situation, and I'm really of opinion that the substantial documents are not provided, and these are substantial documents. So therefore, I believe we cannot admit this person to further competition. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatiana.
Thank you, dear Chair. Yeah, I also familiarized myself with the documents, and given the possibility that was provided to candidates to provide us with additional documents, I think that this person has not used this opportunity. That's why I support our rejection. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If there are other views, I see Jean, yes.
Sorry, I'm unable to operate the raised hand for some reason. Yes, I also note that the Secretariat in some cases reached out a second time, or I should say again, to ask for additional documentation, as Tatiana has mentioned. So as far as I know, for most of the candidates that we will be discussing, that was the case. So I would support the disqualification.
Thank you very much. So, dear colleagues, I think we have a trend already visible in our conversation. So I suggest to proceed to voting. I suggest that we vote in favor or against the rejection of the application of Mr. Bochan. And I'll start with Jim. If you are in favor, so we're voting in favor of the rejection of the application. I want to be very clear. So please. Feel free to express your views.
I will state I am in favor of the rejection.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Oleg?
Так, я голосую також
Yes,
за відмову.
I vote in favor for rejection.
Donatas?
Yes, I vote in favor of rejection.
Tatiana?
Я також голосую за
I
відмову.
also vote in favor for rejection.
Yuri?
Я голосую за відмову.
I
цьому
vote in
кандидату.
favor for rejection this candidate.
And I vote in favor of the rejection. Therefore, Mr. Bochan has been added to the rejection list with a unanimous vote. Victor, can we move to the next candidate?
Так, пані голово, другий кандидат це
Yes,
пан
dear
Волинець
chair.
Василь Іванович.
The second candidate is Vasil Ivanovich Volynets, who also failed to provide all necessary documents for participation in this competition.
Thank you very much. I think we have a similar situation here. If any of my colleagues wants to take the floor. I see, yes, Oleg, go ahead.
Дякую, пані Лауро.
Thank you, dear Laura. Yeah, after familiarizing myself with documents of this candidate, it's worth mentioning, there are quite a few significant documents which he failed to provide, and among those documents which were provided to us, they have a very low quality, which doesn't allow us to read about his working experience and other important data for us. That's why I support our rejection for his participation in the competition.
If there are other interventions,
I think
don't see yes.
Captured my point of view as well.
Thank you, Jim. Therefore, I suggest that we vote for the rejection of the application of Mr. Volynets, and I will start with Jim.
So from this point, what I'll do is, if I say in favor, that just means I'm in favor of rejection. So in favor.
Yes. Thank you very much, Jim. Oleg?
Так, я також голосую за.
Yeah, I also vote in favor for rejection.
Thank you, Donatas.
In favor for rejection.
Thank you, Tatiana.
Голосую за відмову.
I vote in favor for rejection.
Yuri.
Я голосую за відмову цьому
I
кандидату.
vote in favor for rejection for this candidate.
I also vote in favor for rejecting this candidate. Therefore, with a unanimous vote, we add Mr. Volynets also to the rejection list. Can you move to the next candidate, Victor? Thank you.
Так, кандидат номер
Yes,
3.
number 3 candidate, it's Maxim Vasilyevich Vorvol. He also failed to provide all necessary documents for participation in the competition.
Thank you very much, Victor. I want to underline the fact that we are not the ones setting the rules about what documents need to be provided. They are clearly listed in the legislation, and we cannot make any shortcut and any exemptions from the list that has been provided by the law. In this case, we are missing a part of the diploma. Therefore, I open the discussion up to my colleagues as to the potential rejection of the candidate. Yes, Donatas.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So indeed, it's a very unfortunate case. The annex to a diploma is missing, but I guess if we would admit this candidate, we will go down very slippery slope. So therefore, as you stated, it is very clearly prescribed what consists of a diploma together with annexes, and unfortunately, in this case, this candidate doesn't meet the requirements for the provision of a full document set.
Thank you very much. Any other interventions?
I have,
Yes.
and again, that the Secretariat reached out to the candidate for exactly that purpose, to provide additional documents, and he didn't do so.
Yes, that is correct. I don't see any other raised hand. Therefore, I suggest that we vote for the rejection of Mr. Vorvo from this procedure. Jim?
In favor of rejection.
Thank you. Oleg?
Я голосую за.
I vote in favor for rejection.
Thank you. Donatas?
In favor for rejection.
Tetiana?
Я голосую за відмову.
I vote in favor for rejection.
Yuri?
Я голосую за відмову.
I vote in favor for rejection.
And I vote in favor for rejection. Therefore, let's add Mr. Vorvo to the rejection list. Victor, please move to the next candidate.
Кандидат номер 4 Єфремов
The candidate
Андрій
number 4, Андрій Вікторович Єфремов.
Відсутній стаж роботи за
He has
спеціальністю
not
не менше
enough
10
working experience under the specialty of less than 10 years.
Thank you very much, Victor. As I explained in the beginning, we calculated the work experience after the date when a diploma was obtained in that specialty, either law or economics. Therefore, this is the practice in Ukraine, and this is the practice in other international institutions. If you would like to take the floor to discuss these candidates, dear colleagues. I don't see any intervention. I would like to add also, yes, Donatas?
Yeah, thank you so much, Madam Chair. So I also familiarized and analyzed the documents provided very carefully, and I should agree with a position that the working years are not enough, experience is not enough, unfortunately, for this candidate.
Thank you very much, Donatas. I don't see other interventions. Therefore, I suggest that we proceed to the vote. So we are going to vote for the rejection of applicant Yefremov from the procedure for selection of the new head of BES. Jim?
In favor of rejection.
Thank you. Oleg?
За відмову.
In favor for rejection.
Donatas?
In favor of rejection.
Tetiana?
За відмову.
In favor for rejection.
Yuri?
Я голосую за відмову.
I vote in favor for rejection.
And I vote in favor for rejection. Therefore, we have unanimity on the rejection of Mr. Efremov. Please add his name on the rejection list. Can we move to the next candidate, Victor? Thank you.
Наступний кандидат Лозовий Олег
Next
Володимирович.
candidate is Lozovy Oleg Volodymyrovich. The justification for the suggested rejection is also the lack of the experience of work under specialty in the amount of at least 10 years.
Thank you very much. So again, we have a similar situation where the condition of the work experience has not been met. If there are any views on this candidate, yes, Tetiana.
Дякую, пані голово.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Дійсно, в нас
Yes, really.
суттєві зміни
We
законодавства
have
і
significant
це
amendments to the legislation, and in the recent years, work at the positions of operational inspectors is not included into the legal experience. So that's why Ola has this situation. So I will vote for rejection. Unfortunately, this experience is not included into the legal one.
Thank you. Donatas?
Yeah, I fully support what Tatiana has said. Really, this experience of operational worker is not the kind of legal experience that we could admit.
Thank you very much, Tatiana and Donatas. I don't see any raised hands. Therefore, I suggest that we vote in favor of the rejection of the candidate, Mr. Lozovoy. And I will start with Jim.
In favor of rejection.
Thank you. Oleg?
Я голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Donatas?
I vote for rejection.
Tatiana?
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Yuri?
Я голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
And I also vote for rejection. Therefore, we have 6 votes, unanimity in terms of rejecting candidate Lozovoy. Please add his name to the rejection list. And please, Victor, can we move to the next candidate?
Наступний кандидат Маєвський Юрій Францович.
Next applicant is Mayevsky Yuri Frantsovich. The suggested justification for rejection is the absence of work experience under the specialty.
Thank you very much, Victor. I think here we really went through the documents provided, and we added all the relevant experience that we considered relevant for this candidate, and he's still far away from the required experience that is listed in the legislation. But if other colleagues have other views. I don't see any raised hand. Therefore, yes, Jim.
Just I understand the value, particularly of this public administration management specialty, but it doesn't. It's not part of the economics, international economic relations specialty that would qualify him as an economist, or so. I unfortunately would have to support rejection.
Tatiana?
Дякую.
Thank you.
Голово.
Madam Chair,
Так, мені теж
yes,
дуже шкода,
it's
що
also a pity for me
класифікатори
that
професій,
classifiers of professions
освітянські класифікації
and
рівня
respective
освіти
educational
стосовно
classifiers do not include the specialty into the relevant economic ones. So that is why
склалися обставини.
that is the situation that we have. Thank you. I will vote for rejection.
Thank you very much for your views shared with the Commission. I suggest that we vote for the rejection of candidate Mayevsky, and I'll start with Jim.
I vote in favor of rejection.
Thank you, Oleg.
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Donatas,
In favor of rejection.
Tatiana,
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Yuri,
Я голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
and I vote for rejection. Therefore, we have a unanimous vote, 6 votes in favor of the rejection of Mr. Mayevsky. So please add his name to the rejection list. And can we move to the next candidate, please, Victor?
Наступний кандидат аплікант.
The next applicant is Mamuro Alexander Alexandrovich. The suggested ground for rejection is the absence of the required work experience under the specialty.
Thank you very much. As I said, we are not calculating work experience before obtaining the diploma in the required specialty, and this has played a role in the case of this candidate. If there are colleagues that would like to discuss the candidate. Yes, Yuri.
Я не стосовно конкретно цього.
Not with respect to this particular applicant, I would like to say a few words in general regarding our position about not taking into account the experience obtained before the diploma. I think our position as the Commission is correct because the experience should be gained by the person based on the previously obtained education. And we have to be consistent in applying this position to all the applicants. And if we have rejected one applicant due to reasonable grounds, so therefore all the other applicants which had some experience of work that was close to the legal or economic one, but before obtaining the economical legal diploma, then we should also reject them if this experience after the obtaining of the diploma is not enough than the one that is set out by the requirements. So I think that we should not discuss here the situation of each applicant regarding this aspect. We should just be following this rule. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm all in favor of consistency. And I think once we apply the rule, we need to stick by the rule. If there are no other interventions, I suggest that we vote for the rejection of Mr. Monroe. Jim?
I vote to reject.
Thank you. Oleg?
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Thank you. Donatas?
I vote in favor of rejection.
Thank you. Tetiana?
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Yuri?
Я голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
And I vote for rejection. Therefore, we have 6 votes for the rejection of this applicant. May I please ask you to add his name to the rejection list, and let's move to the next candidate.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I would like to inform that the error alert is over, so everything is okay. Наступний кандидат – це
The next applicant is Bizniak Oleg Stepanovich. The suggested ground for rejection is the absence of higher legal or economic education with a degree of at least specialist or master.
Dear colleagues, if you have any interventions regarding this candidate, it seems to be quite a clear case, though. I see no interventions. Therefore, I suggest that we proceed to the vote for rejection of Mr. Bizniak. Jim?
I vote to reject.
Thank you. Oleg?
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Donatas?
I vote in favor of rejection.
Thank you. Tatiana?
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Thank you. Yuri?
Я голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
And I vote for rejection. May I please ask the Secretariat to add his name to the rejection list? And let's go to the next candidate, please, Victor.
Наступний
The next applicant is Mr. Sevokony Volodymyr Vasilyevich. The suggested ground for rejection is the absence of the managerial experience in at least 5 years.
Thank you very much, dear colleagues. If you have any comments with regard to this candidate. I also think it's a clear, one of those clear cases. Yes, Donatas.
Yes, exactly, Madam Chair. As you said, it's quite clear. I've studied also all the documentation provided, and I just made our opinion that this candidate doesn't have enough experience, managerial experience.
Yes. So if there are no other interventions and I don't see any raised hand, I suggest we vote for the rejection of Mr. Zvoniak. And I'll start with Jim.
I vote in favor of rejection.
Thank you, Oleg.
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Donatas,
I vote in favor of rejection.
Tatiana,
Голосую за відмову.
I vote in favor of rejection.
Yuri,
Я голосую за відмову.
I vote in favor of rejection.
and I vote in favor of rejection. Therefore, we have 6 votes for the rejection of this candidate. Can you please ask, may I please ask the Secretariat to add his name to the rejection list? And let's move to the next candidate, please.
Наступний аплікант
The
пан
next applicant is Sintsov Mikhailo Viktorovich. The suggested ground for rejection in admission to the competition is the absence of higher legal or economic education with a degree of at least specialist or master.
Thank you very much, Victor. Again, I think this is a clear case. We're missing a diploma. So unless we have interventions on this point that I don't see, I suggest we move to the vote. So I suggest we vote for the rejection of Mr. Sintsov from the competition for the head of the Bureau for Economic Security. Jim?
I vote for rejection.
Thank you. Oleg?
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Thank you. Donatas?
I vote in favor of rejection.
Thank you. Tatiana?
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Yuri?
Я голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
And I also vote for rejection of Mr. Sintsov. We have 6 votes in favor of rejecting his application. Therefore, please add him to the rejection list and let's move to the next candidate.
Наступний аплікант
The next
пан
applicant
Тітарчук
is Mr. Titarchuk Mikhailo Ivanovich. The suggested reason for rejection in admission to the competition is the absence of at least 10 years of experience under the specialty.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Titarchuk has occupied various positions in his professional life, many of which have been managerial, but what we see missing is the experience in specialty, the required years being 10. If there are any interventions.
I've noted that he has had quite important positions over the course of his career, but unfortunately, I would support the rejection for the reasons given.
Yes, again, we are consistent in applying the rules. We don't calculate the studies period within the period of experience in specialty. So unless there are other views or interventions, I don't see any raised hand, I suggest that we go ahead and vote on the suggestion to reject the candidature of Mr. Titarchuk in this competition. Jim?
I vote to reject.
Thank you. Oleg?
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Donatas?
I vote in favor of rejection.
Thank you. Tatiana?
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Thank you. Yuri?
Я голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
And I vote for rejection. Please add the name of Mr. Titarchuk to the rejection list, as we have 6 votes in favor for his rejection. And let's move to the next candidate.
Наступний аплікант пан Шаповалов Дмитро
The
Анатолійович.
next applicant is Dmitro Anatolyevich Shapovalov, and the suggested rejection reason that he has less than 10 years of working experience on the specialty.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, if you have views on Mr. Shapovalov.
I'd just like to note that the applicant was given the opportunity to explain certain years and whether they might be applicable or not, but it was insufficient. So unfortunately, again, I would favor rejection.
Thank you. Any other views or interventions? I don't see any. Therefore, I suggest that we go ahead and vote for the rejection of Mr. Shapovalov from this competition. Jim?
I vote to reject.
Thank you. Oleg?
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Thank you. Donatas?
I vote in favor of rejection.
Thank you. Tatiana?
Я голосую за
I
відмову.
vote in favor for rejection.
Thank you. Yuri?
Я голосую за відмову.
I vote in favor for rejection.
I also vote in favor for rejection. Therefore, with 6 votes in favor for rejection, let's add the name of Mr. Shapovalov to the rejection list. And Victor, can we move to the next candidate?
Так, пані голово, останнє...
Yes, dear chair. So the last applicant from this list, that's Bogdana Andreevna Yaremchuk. The suggested reason for rejection to participate in the competition is the same, less than 10 years working experience under the specialty.
Yes, indeed. I think with this candidate, we also have to be consistent. We said from the very beginning that we calculate experience in specialty, especially when it comes to law, only for those positions where the respective person had to apply systematically or develop systematically legal provisions. So we don't calculate, we don't go beyond the scope of this very clear description of legal specialty in terms of calculating work in specialty. So if you have any other interventions on this candidate.
I just wanted to say that I note her extensive work experience in a variety of important positions of great value, but I would support the fact that they are not all relevant to what we're looking for, and therefore would support the rejection.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jim. If there are no other interventions, and I don't, yes, Ola, please.
Дякую, пані голово.
Thank you, dear chair. So generally, I would like to wrap up regarding those candidates who have not enough working experience. We, as commission members, were able to work only with those documents which were provided to us. Even more to say, each candidate has an opportunity to clarify those positions which they have, including working experience. That's why we worked based on opportunities provided to us, and that means that correspondingly we evaluated the working experience which was indicated in candidates' documents provided to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Jim.
May I add also that, as you stated at the outset, candidates have the opportunity after this meeting over the next 3 days to correct any misconceptions that have been left on us.
Thank you. Absolutely. I will reiterate this towards the end of our meeting. Okay, if there are no other raised hands, I suggest that we vote for the rejection of Ms. Yaremchuk from the competition. Jim?
I vote to reject.
Oleg?
Голосую за відмову.
I vote for rejection.
Donatas?
I vote in favor of rejection.
Tatiana?
Я голосую за
I
відмову.
vote in favor for rejection.
Yuri?
Я голосую за відмову.
I vote in favor for rejection.
I vote in favor of rejection too. And with 6 votes in favor of rejection, I suggest we add Ms. Yaremchuk to the list of rejected candidates. And with this, I would like to thank all those that applied in this competition, admitted or rejected, for their interest and for the effort to compile all the documents that they could compile and send them to us. I would like to thank once again our secretariat and the interpreters for helping us navigate through these application files that are by no means thin or simple. Thank you very much. And I will go to Oleg to read once again the list of candidates that have been admitted and the list of candidates that have been rejected, not before apologizing for my bad pronunciation in Ukrainian. You see that we are also using in the commission shortcuts, we're using our first names to avoid my bad pronunciation of names. Oleg?
Дякую, пані голово. Отже,
Thank you,
дозвольте.
dear Chair. So, if I may, I would like to announce the list of applicants admitted for participation in the competition for the director of the BS. Aslanov Максим Сергійович, Борисенко Олег Володимирович, Буртовий Михайло Олексійович, Бездеган Павло Миколайович, Вітренко, Андрій Юрійович, Гнатюк Роман Іванович, Гончар Богдан Сергійович, Горбов Олександр Вікторович, Гречана Тетяна Володимирівна, Даменцов Руслан Васильович, Джан Раджамі Мохамадович, Дубовик Віктор Вікторович, Калатур Максим Васильович, Овче Атіла Ласлович, Маштабей Сергій Валентинович, Омаров Амі Азатогли, Пахомов Руслан Володимирович, Перхун Сергій Олександрович, Плачков Дмитро Федорович, Полторацький Микола Михайлович, Рачинський Руслан Михайлович, Ржемовський Владислав Миколайович, Ситников Олександр Анатолійович, Скомаров Олександр Вікторович, Татарінов Роман Володимирович, Фокін Сергій Олександрович, Фюдер Олена Станіславівна, Цивінський Олександр Ігорович, Шепетін Ігор Олегович, Яроменок Роман Олександрович. The general list of admitted candidates, 30 persons. Dear Laura, shall we vote for this general list?
No, I think we voted in the beginning of the meeting and that would be enough. We just go ahead and read the
Добре, тоді
rejections.
я продовжу. Так. Отже, оголошую перелік осіб.
Now I'm going to announce the list of persons rejected in admission to the participation of the competition for the director of the BS. Бочан Ігор Ігорович, Волинець Василь Іванович, Ворволь Максим Васильович, Єфремов Андрій Вікторович, Лозовий Олег Володимирович, Маєвський Юрій Францевич, Мамро Олександр Олександрович, Пізняк Олег Степанович, Сиваконь Володимир Васильович, Сінцов Михайло Вікторович, Титарчук Михайло Іванович, Шаповалов Дмитро Анатолійович, and Яремчук Богдана Андріївна.
Thank you very much, dear Oleg. With regard to the rejected candidates, we have also voted one by one. So I do believe that now the procedure is completed. I would like to reiterate that all the rejected candidates have 3 days to submit their potential appeals to the Commission. And the plan is to receive the appeals until the end of Thursday. And then we intend to meet on Monday in a public meeting, Monday the 10th of March, to discuss the potential appeals and additional documents that we may receive from the rejected candidates. We will announce this meeting in due time with regard to the exact timing, but it will be on the 10th of March. Before I close the meeting, I would also like to announce that the first test in the competition, which is the cognitive ability test, is tentatively scheduled to take place on March 14th. And that we will come back to you with the exact timing and location for this test. But please note that the intention at this date is to have the first test on March 14th in Kiev. With this, we have exhausted the items on the agenda for today. So I would like to thank you very much, dear colleagues, commissioners. I would like to say a big thank you also to our secretariat and to the translators, and to all those that are helping us with the transmission in the Cabinet of Ministers. Thank you very much, and we look forward to advancing this procedure and to selecting the best possible head for the position of Chief of the Bureau for Economic Security. Thank you very much, and with this, the meeting today is concluded.